everyone, it's Sherry from Art Party Boss, and I'm so excited today because we are making the unicorn. You can get your kit from artpartyboss.com, our Etsy shop, or you can get it directly from me at the market. And here's our unicorn, and all the supplies that we need for this project are in your kit. The clay, your canvas, the paint, brush, your embellishments, and probably a few things that I'm not mentioning right now. But we'll also have that wooden easel so you can display your beautiful art when we're done today. So sometimes we like to reference what we're doing visually in a written word. So if you need to, you can also reference the directions that are also in your kit. So don't be afraid to pause the video and do that. So open your wax paper that's in your kit. We're going to use that to protect our surface, and we're going to paint on top of that. You have two colors in your kit, aqua or pink. You can choose which one you prefer for your background. And then the other color we can use to add some other designs when we're towards the end of our project. So we'll talk about that as we get there. So I tend to use a lot of pink, and I did use pink, but you could use aqua instead of the pink. So let's go ahead and get started painting. And I think I'm going to go ahead and use the pink. So we'll just go ahead and cover that whole surface and just put a light coat, because you can always add a second coat later, and that will give it a little more coverage, but you're not going to see very much of that background, so don't stress over that too much. So then just when you're done painting, just go ahead and slide it away from your work area. It won't take very long to dry, and then we'll get back to that canvas in just a little bit. And then be sure to clean your hands if you got any paint on your hands. Start with the head. We are going to make the head first. Now let's not look and say, oh, that's a horse head. I want you instead to start wondering what shape that is. That's how you make everything in art, whether you're painting or drawing or using clay. You're looking at shapes, and once the shapes are put together, they become the thing you're trying to make. So let's start by making a ball, and all of our shapes, all of our pieces that we're making with the clay are going to start as a ball. Okay, that gives you a neutral starting ground for your shape. So warm your clay up. It might take a few minutes if it's cold where you are, or the clay has been outside and you're not in Louisiana, and let it get soft, and then just roll a nice ball. Okay, so this shape, it's almost like a rectangle. It's almost like a rectangle shape. So to elongate this ball, to make it long, I'm going to press from the middle and out. And I can also flatten it with my hand, and then just keep working it. It might feel like this is a little hard to do at first, but it's not. Don't worry, just keep working it. Pinch it from the middle and then work it from the outside. And make sure you're getting a elongated shape. See this shape? It's not round, it's more elongated. And then you'll make it a little bit more narrow on one end. Okay, so now chances are your canvas is dry by now. So if you want, you can bring your canvas over, and you can just be able to judge how big that head is. That's about right. So I think I'm going to keep this shape for my head. So it's a little bit larger here, and a little bit more narrow over here. Okay, and then I'm just going to set that aside. And now I'm going to work on the body. Now the body, you really don't see much of it because it's going to be covered in the mane. So we don't have to agonize over this piece too much. So just make a ball again. And if you notice, I like to press my palms together. It gives you a little more strength in making your ball, and it makes a rounder ball. It'll make a smooth ball if you do that. All right, so now I have that. Now I'm going to flatten it, and I'm trying to make an egg shape, really an egg shape. So again, to make this piece of clay larger, I need to press from the middle. You can use your thumbs, and then I can also pull it a little bit to stretch it, but pull it sort of from the middle. and sometimes you'll get a crack. You can just rub that gently to get that to close back up. Then after you've been working on your egg shape for a while, you can check it on here. And if your canvas isn't dry, just hold it above. Okay, so now you can just see that these are the two shapes that we're going to get, and this is what our horse head looks like and our horse body. All right, so let's go ahead and take one of our texturing tools. Let's take your toothpick and we'll use this sharp end, and then we are just going to go ahead and make this mouthpiece. So we're just going to go like this. All right, so his mouth is going to be on the bottom third, or the bottom part of it, and you just lay it on the side and then go ahead and drag it through. All right, and then you might have some extra clay, and then you can close it up a little bit. There, and this is going to be his mouth. All right, so there you go. That's going to be his mouth. Now how about his nose? Let's go ahead and do his nose. Your toothpick should be flat on this end, and you want to come close to the top and just go ahead and wiggle in a little nose. Okay, good. There we go. So there's his nose. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and give myself a marker for the eye. Okay, so here's the eye and the nose, and it's almost in a straight line. So let's just go ahead and put that back and know that we're going to make it sort of even, and pick a little spot there for your eye. Not too far back because you need room for his ear. And then you just make a little wiggle there. And just so we can start giving our horse a little personality, why don't we put our eyeball in? Okay, we can also use, we know where, if we have it marked, just make a bigger hole here with this tool. And then if you want, you can just pop that eye on in there. There we go. Now, doesn't look like a horse yet, does he? Almost looks like a dinosaur or something right now. That's okay, he will look like a unicorn very soon. Okay, so let's go ahead and make his ear now, or her ear. I don't know what your horse is. And again, what do you think what shape are we going to make? Take a guess. If you said a ball, you are correct. We're going to make a ball. And now from this, we're going to make a triangle. So I just press between my fingers that way and press on the ends this way. Press with my thumbs in the middle that way, and then this way. Okay, and then I kind of go like that, maybe make it a little longer. You just shape it to the shape you like the most. There. Oh yeah, I think so. You don't want him to be, the ear to be too big, because then he might look like a donkey. So now that we have the ear shape the way we want it, we'll just pull it aside and make that shape again, but it's going to be the inside of the ear. So let's just make another, guess what shape? A ball. And we'll do a triangle again, a really little one. And then we'll just add that to the inside of the ear. So that's going to go right here. So on this piece, if you really want to, you could just push it on there and it will hold. It really will. Or you can put a little glue. If you want to put a little glue, just take your glue container and just tip the tip of your finger. Just need just a little bitty dab, and then you can put it there. And then yeah, it's gonna slide, and then push it in there, and it'll just stay in place. Okay, so now we are going to do the eyebrow. And that's just going to be a little itty bitty coil, pretty little, and the shape of it will decide what expression your unicorn has. So that's a little one. He looks friendly enough with that. Right on top of that eyeball, and the white part of that eyeball, and you could just push it down. And if you wanted to, I'll just show you, you could drag that and make an eyelid. You just drag it a little bit over your wiggle eye. Okay, your canvas should be dry now, so let's take your head and your body and position it where you would like it on your canvas. So just check it out. Make sure you leave room at the bottom for your clouds and on the sides for your mane and for your hearts. So now we can glue it down if you like. We'll just take a little dab just on your fingertip, rub it on the back, and press into the canvas. And you still have time to reposition it if you need to. Now we will go ahead and we're going to do the mane. Let's just do the mane. So your piece is already cut into two coil sizes. So now we're going to make a what shape? You're right, that's right, a ball. And then we're going to make a coil. Make sure I don't have any pink there. Okay. And you can roll your coil, start it out between your hands, and then you can use your clay mat to make it longer. And you're going to make it pretty thin because look how many coils you're going to want to make. You want to make a lot of them. So I have a pretty long coil and I'm going to put it behind the ear. And I'm just going to lay it on his forehead like that. And then I'm going to bring it down around here. And then I'm going to start rolling it. So the most important part when you get started is to get a real tight little bend. And you could just roll it against your clay mat. And just roll it on up. Yeah, there, okay. And then we're going to do the same thing with a different alternating color. So maybe you want to create a pattern. If you want it, you could do 2 yellows and 2 of the aqua color or 2 blues, whichever way you like. It doesn't have to be exactly like the sample. So I'm going to roll another ball. And then I'm going to make another coil. So we're just going to repeat that for as many coils as you would like. And you'll lay that right next to the first one. And you'll come around. And then you can start rolling again. And you can just let it sit right on top. And then close those 2 together so you won't be able to see his body. Oh yeah, that'll be cute. And now let me do a blue one. So you can see the coils here are a lot longer, and you can do that with this one if you want. It's up to you how long you want your coils to be or where you want them to be. Maybe you want your unicorn's mane to be blowing in the wind. He's racing. Maybe your unicorn is running and you want it to be blowing in the wind. So you have a few ones that are way up in the air. Yeah, and then this one I did some tiny coils. They were thinner, much thinner than the first ones. So you could make thick coils and thin coils. So don't be afraid to try something different. Just lay it right on top of the others, however I want to do it. Maybe I want that piece to be a little bit shorter. I think I do. And then go behind. And I'll just lay it down here. Starting that coil's the only, or the hardest part. It's not really hard at all, but okay, so I'm just pushing in the canvas. This you don't need glue for either, so don't worry about that. And now I've done the yellow, aqua, blue. Now I'll start over with yellow. Now for this one, I think I have enough over here on the forelock. That's called the forelock. So I'm just going to start this one down here underneath. So we're just going to leave those 3 there. And then let's see what I'm going to do about this one. I'm going to go ahead and coil it. I could leave it like that, but I don't like that. So I'm just going to lift this one up and stick it underneath. Yeah, there we go. So remember, now that we're getting farther along, I did not put one here. I just put the first 3 strands for the forelock, and the rest is just going to be the mane back here. Now I can see that I don't have much room for another strand. It's a pretty tight space there. So I might make, that'll be okay too. So let me make a very thin coil. maybe smaller than the others. So you have this part done. So let's go ahead and make the clouds. So this is pink clouds, and then this one has the aqua clouds. So you can choose which color you like. So I think I'll do the aqua. So we're back to big pieces. So I'm going to make a ball again. And now we're going to make a coil, and the coil is going to be as long as your canvas. So there it is, it's as long as a canvas. And then you're just going to put it just over the very edge, and then you can start just pressing with your finger. Your thumb is great, and then just make it press against there, and you'll make lots of indentions, and that's what's going to make it look like clouds. So it doesn't have to look smooth or perfect. In fact, you probably don't want it to look perfect or smooth. So you just drag it and press with your thumb. And you absolutely do not need glue for this. This will stick to your canvas. All right. And I can just make some bumps all along. Okay, now we are ready to texturize our clouds. So we will use one of our texturing tools, and this is the craft stick, but you could use anything you like. You could use the toothpick or another tool in your kit, and just make a ton of little bumps all over just randomly, and that'll make it look like that. All right, what are we missing? Well, we're missing our jewels and our horn, of course. All right, so you will have extra clay, and you can make a horn a couple of ways. You can either combine the colors, or you could make a solid color horn. So here is a horn that is 2 colors, and here is a horn that is 1 color. So let's do the one that's 2 colors so that you'll know. Again, we're going to make a ball and a coil. Probably half the size of your canvas, something like that. That would be fine. Yep, those are about the right size. And you take these two, and we're just going to push them together, and then we'll just roll them together. Just roll them like that, just to make them stick a little bit. And now you can just give a little light twist from the middle. So twist from the middle, then make 1 twist next to it, 1 twist next to it, and 1 twist next to that, and just move on up. There you go. And then you can go back and add very gently another little short twist. Not too many. There. Now, when you roll it gently again, that'll give it that spiral look. Okay, and then you'll want one end sharper because that's his horn. So, oh, that one's a little too sharp, so I'll just go turn that off. All right, I like that pretty well. I'll twist that a little more. All right, and of course this is too long to go on his head, so you just kind of look, I think it needs to be cut right about there. So you can just use your toothpick and cut it there. And then let's see if that's too long. Well, that's very long. I think I'm going to cut it again. Well, maybe you want a long one. That's fine too. And I'm going to put it here. So with this, you can do a little, you can just move your main locks around and then just wrap it around there. And you could just push it against your canvas, or if you prefer, a little glue just like we've used before. So there's his horn. All right, so now we're ready for the jewels. So for this, you really don't need the glue, but if you want to, go ahead and just pour out your jewels and see what you would like to use. You could make a design, or it could be just random. There's 2 different ways I did it. This one I used more jewels, and this one shorted, just the jewels are just sort of dancing along. I just put a little pressure as you put the jewels in the position you'd like, and it will be all set and it will hold just fine. If you want to, you want to make some dots, I'm going to use my other color. The other color, you might have used this and you'll use the pink. And I can take the end of this stick and I can just dip it in there. Let's get the end right, and I could just make some dots for decorations. And you could do as many as you like. So this is my unicorn. I'm not going to put the 2 hearts on. You'll have those in your kit as well. This one, it has the 2 hearts. You can just put a little glue on the back and you can put those wherever you want. Now I'm going to take my unicorn and I'm going to display it on my canvas. Now if you put those hearts on, you'll need to let them dry before you set up your easel. So there is my easel and there is my unicorn, and I want to thank you so much for making this with me. I really love it, and I just love to see what you're making, so I would be the happiest person ever if you were to share what you made with me. So thank you again from Art Party Boss, and I can't wait to make the next kit with you. Thanks so much. Bye now.